This project is the first study of its kind in that it uses real-world evidence. We used, for our data source, we used the Medicare fee-for-service 100% claims database, Medicare being the federal insurance company for the elderly and the disabled in the US. And what we have is 100% of the Medicare-covered population. So we looked at that, and the two products that are on the market approved in the US for CAR T came on the market in the latter half of 2017. So that's where we started. The first claims in our data appeared in October of 2017, and so we grabbed those claims and then for the following year. So what we have, using real-world claims data, we have a snapshot of the landscape for all the CAR T therapies that were provided to this population in the first year of its use in the country. Patients, we identified 207 patients with the proper indication, consistent with the drugs, and 6 months of data before and 6 months after, because our goal was to look at the patient characteristics, the clinical characteristics, costs, pre and post CAR T therapy, healthcare utilization, pre and post, and then outcomes at the end. Again, using real world data. What did we find in these 207 patients? We found, in terms of demographics, we found the average patient was 70 years of age. Compare that to the average age of patients who were seen in the trials, who were 56 to 58, so an older population. Number two, we also identified that many of these patients had comorbid conditions, additional illnesses in addition to their advanced lymphoma, and in fact 51% of them had a serious chronic condition in addition to their cancer that would in many cases have excluded them from clinical trials. So the real world data in terms of patient characteristics looked a little bit different. We looked at survival in terms of outcomes. 73% of the patients were still alive at the end of 6 months. For patients with advanced relapse refractory DLBCL, that's pretty good survival for this. We looked also at healthcare utilization prior to and then after, comparing to after CAR T, specifically inpatient hospitalizations and emergency department visits. Inpatient hospitalizations decreased by 17% from pre to post. Emergency department visits even greater. The number of patients requiring an ED visit dropped by a third. Total number of inpatient visits dropped by almost 50%. Finally, total healthcare costs, exclusive of the costs of the CAR T therapy itself, total healthcare costs, all cause decreased by 39% for the 6 months before compared to the 6 months after. So we think these are good outcomes. To summarize again, what we found comparing this real-world population of CAR T administration, we found that patients who are older and with multiple comorbidities in addition to their cancer can be successfully treated with CAR T, where success is defined as a decrease in hospitalizations, a decrease in emergency department visits, and an overall reduction in costs pre versus post the procedure.